Before calling your HVAC contractor, here's 5 things you can check on your own and possibly save yourself some money. If your air conditioning is not cooling properly, there could be a couple simple fixes that you can take care of on your own, and if not, then call the company. Now, there's 2 scenarios with your air conditioner. One is it's not working at all. The other, it's working, but it's not cooling like it should. So if your air conditioner is not working at all, or is not cooling like it should, first thing you should check is your thermostat. This thermostat, most thermostats have settings and programmings. First thing you want to do is 1, make sure it's set properly. Make sure it's set to cool. Make sure that the fan is set to auto. And then make sure the temperature is set lower than the room temperature. And if it's still not working, check the batteries. Or if this screen is completely blank, check the batteries. Most thermostats have batteries. Now, almost all modern thermostats run off of what we call common power, or the C wire. And that is, it draws the power from the AC unit itself. Older thermostats, there's many out there today still, that are battery operated only. And so in that case, you want to check the batteries. And regardless, you always want to check the batteries or replace the batteries. I recommend doing it when you change your smoke detector batteries. But check your batteries. So this literally mounts to the wall, pulls off the plate, and here's your batteries right here. Just change those out. See if that fixes your problem. If the settings are correct, do the batteries next. See if that fixes your problem. I know this sounds very obvious. However, you would be amazed at the amount of calls we arrive to. Our technicians show up and it's the thermostat batteries, or the thermostat's set into a program or not set correctly. So check this. You could save yourself well over $100 with this simple fix. Next, now if your system is operating, but it seems to struggle to cool, it's not cooling as quickly as it normally does, or it's just not getting down to the right temperature, check your filter. Again, the filter is super neglected. We go out to homes where we have systems that all we do is change a 1-inch filter and the system performs as it should. Once you get to a 50% buildup on this filter, it can dramatically impact your system. As little as a 20% buildup is going to start having an impact on your system and decreasing its efficiency and ability to cool. And the higher the temperatures are out there, the harder your system's going to work and the bigger the impact is going to have on it. If it's too clogged, if there's too much buildup on it, it could literally cause your indoor unit, the evaporator coil, to form into a block of ice. And now you got a whole different set of issues. Check your filter, change your filter regularly, save yourself a lot of money with this simple fix. Changing your filter, I always tell people if you got a 1-inch filter, you should do it every 30 days. Some people do 60, 90. For as little of an investment for a filter, I say 30 days. Especially if you have pets, you have multiple people in the home, you have a lot of in and out, you live in a dusty area, whatever it may be, that your environment could increase the amount of times or the frequency you change your filter. Next, if your system is not cooling and not operating, it could be this little doohickey here, the breaker. Now you're used to seeing these in a breaker panel in your house, but this is the breaker itself. And if this trips, resetting it, it could be as simple as that. Now, something really, really important in this. If your breaker trips and you go to reset it and it will not move, do not force it. That's when you know you need to call your contractor to come out and take a look at it. Now, if it resets, fantastic. It may be you just had a power surge or something like that that caused that breaker to trip. It could also be an indication of a bigger issue. So it would be something you definitely want to let your technician know when you have your system maintained, all right? Checking the breaker, simple. Now, you have one breaker for the condenser, which is the outdoor unit. You have a separate breaker for the indoor unit. So you may have this system tripped, the indoor unit's not tripped. So it may be one's tripped, both are tripped. Typically, most of the time, it's the breaker for the condenser. Why? There's a compressor inside here. The heart of your system, the pump, it draws a lot of power, especially under heavy load. And sometimes it can cause enough of an issue that it will trip the breaker at the unit or the fuse box, or trip this breaker as well. Next up, something overlooked, misunderstood, and can cause tremendous challenges with your cooling. Registers. Yes, registers. These registers, so there used to be the utility companies, believe it or not, used to run these ads that if you're not using a room, close off your registers. Like that was going to do something good for you. It's not. If you have registers closed off in rooms because you're not using the room, you are causing basically a back pressure in your system that is causing your system to work harder, pressures to increase, and you're basically shortening the life of your system, all because you think it's saving money and pushing that air to another part of your house. But keep in mind, you only have so much ductwork and you have certain size ducts. So if you've got 2 rooms, let's say, or 1 room, and you've closed off 2 registers in that room, where's that air going? It's causing back pressure because it has no outlet. So the system's having to deal with it. So check your registers, make sure all your registers are open, and make sure you've got airflow coming from all the registers. If you don't, there could be an issue in the attic, your basement, wherever your ductwork runs, of a pinched duct, a duct that has torn or come apart, and so the cooling capacity of the home has been diminished. Next up, check your condenser. Go outside to the condenser. The condenser is the outdoor unit. The air blows through the top here. 1, is it running? Do you hear it running? If it's running, put your hand over the top where the air comes out. If no air is coming out, you need to call an HVAC contractor. That's a good indication your condenser fan motor is the issue. Unless you're very handy and confident in working with electronics and equipment, call a contractor. Can you do it on your own? Sure can. Just make sure you know what you're doing, or you could cause yourself a bigger repair bill than you already have. But what you want to look is in here is an aluminum coil. This can get built up and dirty, and it cuts down on the air that moves in across the coil. See how this works is this fan blows up and air gets sucked in across these coils, and that's how we get the heat. We condense it. That's why it's called a condenser. That's how we pull the heat out of the refrigerant that was just removed from your home. So if this is dirty and hasn't been maintained, if there's bushes around it, shrubbery, all of that can cause this to not work properly, dramatically cut down on the efficiency to the point that it's not cooling your home properly. So make sure it's clear all the way around it. Make sure there's no shrubbery built up or anything like that. Make sure there's nothing leaning against this. One of the calls we get, my system's not cooling. We get out to the house and they're having the house painted. As soon as I pull up to a house that's not cooling and I see a painting contractor, I'm like, I bet the painters covered the condenser with tarps because they're painting in that area of the house. And I can't tell you how many times I get out to a home and the condenser's covered with painting tarps. They don't know, but that's how important this is. So check those 5 things first. And if those aren't the issue, doesn't fix the issue, then give your local contractor a call. Preferably, it's general air conditioning and plumbing.